Hey friends, my name is Ravi and welcome to the It's Not That Serious podcast. Learn and grow with me as I'm just another 20-something finding who I am. On this journey of self-love and betterment, I take my experiences and topics to inspire growth, change, and overall self-satisfaction. Hey guys! So today I want to talk about perception. To start, I want to ask you guys some questions. First of all, do you ever feel or think that sometimes life can be meaningless or that you feel like you're stagnant where you are, like you're not really moving anywhere or going anywhere in your life? Or that sometimes you'll have constant negative interactions with people, or even that you seem to have the same repeating patterns in your life that you seem to attract but want to break? Well, in today's episode, I want to talk about perception, which is the way we interpret and understand the world around us. It's how we view our interactions with other people, with situations, and with objects. And when you change your perception, it gives you a new perspective, a new point of view. So you're able to see things differently, and you're able to see where you stand in the world and along your peers. This can make you feel more ahead and more powerful than you may realize. Benefits to having a more positive perception include stress reduction. We honestly cause stress for ourselves. I've also seen this one TikTok, and I think I heard a podcast about it as well. I don't remember, but they basically were saying that we cause problems for ourselves because we naturally like to solve problems. It's in our nature, and that provides the feeling of accomplishment. So that being said, we unconsciously create problems that sometimes aren't even there to begin with. We take emotion and past experiences to make events more dramatic than they really are. Another benefit of having a positive perception is increased adaptability. It allows us to adapt to whatever challenges or obstacles we face, and this allows a lot of room for growth. Then we also have enhanced positivity. You can change your mentality to having a better one. Therefore, happier mind gives you a happier life. The last benefit that I want to include is breaking negative patterns. So not only are you shifting your vibrational level to a positive one, you're also attracting better things. And I'm so big on this. I feel like I've talked about this in my other episodes, that what you put out there, the energy and the vibrations that you send out to the universe, you get back. Karma, what goes around comes around. So when I say breaking negative patterns, I mean breaking negative or bad habits that you may have in your daily life, or just like people that you keep attracting or bringing into your life when not wanting to have those people in your life. So now that we've talked about the benefits of having a positive perception, I want to talk about the power of it and how we can take this into our lives through me presenting examples or things that I've gone through, and I'm pretty sure you have gone through as well. There was this quote that I saw a while back that really resonated with me, and it says, "You are not in the world is in you." You literally have the power to create your reality. Yeah, you live in the world and everything happens around you and exists, but you have the choice. You have the option to choose how you want to perceive it, and you literally have the power to do what you want, to be who you want to be, and create your own storyline. Everything in the world simply exists as these molecules, these atoms, this matter that's just visible to the human eye on this floating rock in space. There's literally no value to anything materialistic or tangible. However, with society and societal norms, we place value onto everything. That being said, we perceive everything the way we do. We value things the way we choose to value it. But because everybody has different backgrounds, different upbringings, different cultures, everyone's perception is different on these said objects, events, and people because we choose to see and believe what we want. It's all biased. It's all emotional. And bringing in the whole we choose to suffer, we choose our own suffering topic that I was talking about earlier, we create those realities ourselves. You're creating your heaven or your own hell. I want to say this quote and I'm going to give you a few seconds to think about how you want to interpret it. The quote is, "There is no meaning to life." When you hear that, do you think of it in a good way or do you think of it in a bad way? How does thinking there's no meaning to life make you feel? It's just one quote, but we could have different tones to it. So you could have either thought there's no meaning to life means a positive thing. You have an endless amount of options to view life. Or you could think that it means there's no point in trying. It's better to do nothing. Depending on which mentality you have, that's what may cause you to take action or stay stagnant. Taking action is also a way to relieve anxiety and improve confidence. Staying stagnant will do the opposite. It'll increase anxiety. It will decrease confidence. So again, your perception's important and something like that. That's just an example of how you can change meaning to something like that. I want to talk about how I was able to switch my perception on how I view text messages. I am 99% sure if you're listening to this, you have some smartphone or you talk to your friends or family on social media or text. And this could apply to you or be relatable to you, maybe not. But for me personally, I have viewed not getting text messages in a negative way. And I haven't thought about it like this in a really long time, but it used to be a regular thing for me before. It all also has to do with my mood and how I have to switch my mentality. What I'm talking about is, let's say I text someone and I don't get a text right away. If I'm in a self-deprecating mood or simply not doing anything productive that day, and I just kind of feel like I've been sitting in bed all day, I haven't done anything, I'm just lazy and bored, then I'm already in that mood that's self-deprecating. And my first thought is, nobody's texting me, my friends don't care about me, or my friends don't like me. I kind of lack that emotional permanence where I'm thinking, okay, because they're not texting me, they don't like me and they think I'm annoying, so they're avoiding me. But in reality, they're either busy or they just don't feel like responding. And they have every single right in the world to not respond if they can't or don't want to. And literally, they're focusing on their own things, their own life, and I'm not their priority. Their world does not revolve around me. So just like that quote I asked you guys about earlier, it's the same event, different outcomes in how I'm thinking of it. This just comes to show that we put on these colored lenses and see only in those lenses, depending on our circumstances, or like I said, mood at the time. This may change whether we see something more negative or more positive. I've come to be more productive in my daily habits, in my daily life, and now people texting me is not my priority. If I'm not getting a text, then I'm like, oh, fuck it. Like, I think that's a sign to go be productive, you know? Another example that I want to bring up that we all have had to do at this point is our interactions with people or service employees. I want to talk about how you can switch your perception in an everyday, more common setting. So let's say that you've had a negative interaction with an employee who's checking out your groceries at Albertsons or something. And then let's just say they're super rude and have an attitude. It's so easy and natural to think that they're rude as a personality trait rather than just what's going on that day. And then some of us may be like, oh my God, that person was such a bitch, or that person was such a dick. What the hell? Like, they think they're better than me. But it's okay to take a step back and realize he or she is human and they have their own life and experiences separate from mine. Who knows? They're probably just having a bad day, or something's going on. Maybe they're having family issues. Maybe they had to put their dog down or got in a car crash and they don't have insurance. I don't know. Like, literally anything could have happened, and that's just not their personality. They're just going through it. We all have these days. We all go through something like that. And we'll have days where we're not feeling like interacting with people, but then you kind of have to. And it's part of the job, you know, to be able to pay your bills and whatnot. So I try to, instead of project that the person is a bad person, I try to understand that something might be going on that I do not know. I don't want to judge that person, you know? And now that we've talked about how we could change our perception on other people, let's turn inwards and talk about how we could even view ourselves. This is what's really important as well, because the relationship you have with yourself, I feel like everyone hears all the time, is the most important relationship to have. You want to be able to see yourself in a more positive light. That way you're able to see other people in a positive light. That being said, our perceptions of our thoughts and ourselves matter. So we all have intrusive thoughts that come and go. We all have that negative voice in our heads that actually isn't us. Yet we attach ourselves to that voice and identify with it, which makes our perceptions of ourselves more negative and self-harming than it actually is. And like I said before, we create our world and our life, and if we see ourselves negatively and we don't like the people we are, that becomes projected onto the people around us, and we start seeing others in a negative light. I'm sure you've had a friend or a family member or just somebody you've interacted with that talks so much shit on other people. In reality, it's mostly that person who's having the most issues with themselves. But we're all human, we all have our flaws or things that we don't like about ourselves. But I'm trying to get across the point that there are ways to minimize the self-doubt and self-negativity. It's important to accept yourself and be gentle with yourself and be able to differentiate the negative thoughts in our head with the person you actually are. With all of this being said, learn to view things in a different light. Try putting on a different colored lens and see the world in a new view. And remember that literally nothing has value. We as a society decide to put value on things, but prior to that, it was literally worth nothing. That goes for objects, events, people, situations, anything. Everything is simply existing, yet we see it how we choose to see it. This is an active choice that we're making every single day. Everything's full of decisions. We have the option to label and decide what is good and what is bad. We can choose to take bad experiences and bad relationships with people that are hurtful and harming, but view it as a lesson. View it as something that was necessary to help us grow and to learn for the better. Our negative thoughts and patterns and interactions can drastically become positive, and we can significantly reduce stress. And you are way more powerful than you think. That is all I have for today's episode. Thank y'all for hanging out with me, and I hope you have an amazing day or amazing night or whenever you're listening to this. And don't forget that life is not that serious, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Peace out.